Hello everybody and welcome to this new video on my YouTube channel all about Bitcoin Cash. Today we talk about cryptocurrencies in general and Bitcoin Cash in particular. And I actually plan to make a much longer, much more detailed video, but I realized that it takes a lot of time to first write the script and then record the footage and then to edit it and upload it. And yeah, right now I don't have a lot of time. That's why I'm trying to make this shorter video to give you a brief idea of what I will be talking about in the longer video. Okay, so let's begin. Cryptocurrencies. What do we think about when we hear cryptocurrencies? Some people may think about getting rich quick schemes. Some people may think about Lambos or rocket emojis or Elon Musk or energy consumption. Or they may think that cryptocurrencies are just a tool for the rich or a toy for the rich to get even richer, and maybe even so at the expense of people who are poorer than they are. And this is valid criticism for almost all cryptocurrencies, but there's one cryptocurrency which is distinctly different, and that one is Bitcoin Cash. And that's also the reason why I'm a strong supporter of Bitcoin Cash, why I'm a firm believer in the mission of Bitcoin Cash. So in this video we'll talk a little bit about the history of Bitcoin Cash, how it came to be, and we'll also talk about the mission of Bitcoin Cash. So the year is 2009 and we've just had the global financial crisis. And the governments decided that the banks are too big to fail, and whenever they do something risky with their money, they can keep their profits if it goes well. And if it doesn't, the taxpayer has to stand up for that and has to bail them out. Some people were understandably very upset with this decision, and they organized a protest called Occupy Wall Street. So what came of it? Well, nothing much, to be honest. But some other people decided that's probably not the best we can do better. And they use cryptography and mathematics to create a monetary system which exists outside the control of the state and governments. Well, why would you want that? Some people may ask. The main reason is that when the state or when governments control the monetary system, they can just print how much money they want for whatever reason they want. They might decide that it is a good use of your money to bail out banks who did risky investments, and they may decide that it's a good use of your money to go and bomb some people you don't know in a country you've never heard about. And some people were pretty upset with that. They said, no more. We need a separation of money and state, just like we had a separation of religion or church and state. So how do you create such a monetary system? There have been electronic cash systems before, but they were centrally controlled by a company or by an individual, and the governments were able to forcefully shut those cash systems down. Therefore, one of the goals has to be that this monetary system cannot be shut down. And a person, or possibly a group of people who called themselves Satoshi Nakamoto, they came up with a way how this can be done using cryptography and mathematics. And that was the invention of cryptocurrency. And you may have heard that the first cryptocurrency that was invented was called Bitcoin. And Satoshi Nakamoto actually published a PDF document in which they describe how Bitcoin should work. And when you read this document, the first line or the title actually says that they invented a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Unfortunately, over the years, some actors decided that this was not the goal to pursue anymore, and for some reason or another, they decided to take Bitcoin into a different direction. They decided it has to be a store of value, or it has to be digital gold, but not peer-to-peer electronic cash anymore. That means that you cannot really use Bitcoin to pay for your coffee because the fees are too high and the transaction speed is way too slow. Thankfully, there was another group within the same community who wanted to stick to the original goals of being peer-to-peer electronic cash. They wanted you to be able to order a pizza with Bitcoin. They wanted you to be able to pay for a coffee with Bitcoin. and they actually separated from the rest of the community and they founded Bitcoin Cash. So what is now called Bitcoin and what is now called Bitcoin Cash used to be the exact same, but then they decided to split, and what is now called Bitcoin, BTC, they decided to pursue a different goal from the original one, while Bitcoin Cash couldn't keep the same name, but they kept the vision, they kept the mission. And what is this mission that I'm talking about? Bitcoin Cash tries to be the money for everybody. And when I say that, I don't mean for the upper class, for the middle class, and for the lower class of developed nations. I really mean for everybody. Also for people in the third world. Also for the unbanked. So banking the unbanked is actually one of the main goals of the mission of Bitcoin Cash. It's not a toy for rich people to get even more rich. It is a tool to change the world for the better. And freedom and borderless financial transactions are one of the main focuses of Bitcoin Cash. And as you may have heard, BTC has recently been in the news as a rather inefficient financial transaction tool. And Bitcoin Cash is different. Its energy efficiency is much higher. And there are actually developments to make Bitcoin Cash transactions absolutely carbon neutral. So I hope this sparked your interest and maybe you feel more compelled to further research Bitcoin Cash. If you do, I can recommend to use other sources than Wikipedia, because as you may know, the more political a topic is, the less reliable the information you get from Wikipedia. And the article was either written by someone who doesn't know any better or who has an agenda to make Bitcoin Cash look bad. I'll try to compile a few sources where you can find further reliable information. Alright, so thank you everybody for watching and see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.